going on, everybody? My name is Northy, and today we have our first upload that is outside the Northy's month of Teamcoach for the month. So, how are we all feeling? We feeling good? I think I mentioned to you guys what your top teams were and asking all those questions last time around, but now I'm going to go through mine. This is out on a Saturday morning, or not even Saturday afternoon. This is a very, very late one, but hopefully, with the way things are going, and I'm quite confident with the way things are going, we will get a really, really good result. So, I'm going to quickly go through my star powers. It's going to be hopefully a decently quick video, around 10 minutes is what I'm aiming for, but sometimes I like to ramble and things get a bit difficult. But main change here, I'm always just, I don't know what to do with Cole Amon and Jai Simpkin. They really just switch spots depending on which one I've picked. But the only change I've made is Noah Anderson is going to be our future player, and Luke Parker is now our team star powers, and Noah Anderson is just regular star powers is what I meant to say about him. But we've kept Bonds here. It was a poor game last time, but he's always good to have there just in case he gets double points. And Rory Laird is just consistently 105. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't have him at this point. He's just 100 every single week. So, really, really good there to have Rory Laird. This, however, the last few weeks have told me this needs to be the change. Just Sydney midfielders in general all starting to step up. Errol Goulden even played well last week. He did his thing. We didn't get ourselves a top 30 position. However, we are still rank 4, and potentially this week, I'm fingers crossed that somehow it happens, we get into the top 3. It could be wishful thinking, but I'm so excited. I'm praying it happens. I've been trying so hard to get myself at least top 3 somewhere, because I have no clue what end of season prizes are. I have no clue whether it is for the top person in every game mode, or whether it's the top 3, top 5, top 10. I'm not too sure. I just really want to give myself the best chance to make it, and I think right now this is my best chance. Laird has been playing incredibly. Bontempelli can do well, but I've got Oliver in there too. Probably should have picked him up. This will be explained very, very soon. I do have Clayton Oliver, however I don't have the card. You guys will understand soon, but could have picked him up. Josh Dacos could have even been a decent pick, but didn't play as well as a lot of other Collingwood players last night, so glad I didn't end up putting him in there. Luke Parker, though, 103 points last week, has been getting solid 100s pretty much every single week as of late, so he is going to get the call up. Noah Anderson, I hope, has a good game, but I want Luke Parker to continue his form. He's doing really well at the moment. And then Amon, when he's on, he smashes it. He does brilliant things, so I'm hoping that Amon will be able to take us to the promised land again. We're going to go over top 4, and God, am I so happy with one of my choices. I took out Jared Witts and put in Maxi Gawn, top scored for fantasy points last night. Really, really good start to the round for my top 4, especially considering we go to the ladder, I am top 4 for this season. So starting off a final round like that, such a good feeling. Like Rowan Marshall last week, how we made the mistake of taking him out. This week, we've rectified it by chucking Max Gawn in, and he's had the performance he had. Although they didn't take the win, it's so good for Teamcoach teams. Bonts stays in the forward line. I know he wasn't even near the best performer last round, but Bonts is Bonts. I'm still confident in his ability. Rory Laird, again, consistent 100. I'm hoping he does it again. It's never guaranteed, but the dude's just all over it all the time. He's our best opportunity. And Tom Stewart stays in. Not sure how that choice will go, but you see here, he's only 15 points less than the top scorer in the back line, who is, I think, an unlikely pick for most people. So realistically, 9 points. 9 points, because I think a lot of people may have picked Heppel due to his form. 9 points is really not that much of a loss from last week. I think if all players play to their standard, and Max Gawn has had the round he's had, we'll be getting ourselves a top 10 here as well. Again, it could just be luck that we don't, but realistically, I'm happy with the amount of prize cards we've gotten this season. I'm more than happy if we can just get ourselves like a really solid score, 400 plus, potentially even beating out some people in the top 3, because you see here, we are currently ranked 4 for the season. If anyone in that top 3 falls off this week, we're in. We should be. If it goes the way it should, at the very least. But Maxi Gawn last night, definitely over 100 points. It's all you need from your top 4 is over 100 points. Laird pretty much guarantees that every week, but I don't like talking that confidently about any player. Bonts at his best can smash it. And Tom Stewart is also very, very helpful for the Geelong backline. He's not needed as much as the year's gone on with the rise of Sam de Koning, just the way that Geelong is structured and have been playing. He isn't always needed, and he hasn't been as dominant as he was at the start of the season. There may be some better picks, but Tom Stewart is Tom Stewart. He's He's looking very, very good and good form throughout the entire season, obviously, other than the Dion Prestia incident. All signs point to this being a really, really good week, especially with the start of Max Gorn. Super happy with that, but we're going to go over to top 18 now, and this is where last week we made the biggest change in terms of performance. You see here, we were 41st, so no prize card. However, we did get a really nice score, and we went up 4 spots. We went from 12 to 8, which is really good. It's better to do it at the late rounds, I think, because it gives you a lot less pressure going into future games. But I'm trying to catch up to Gringo, who I believe is Petsy. That's who his name is. I'm almost certain that's who it is. If I've got it wrong, I apologize, but I'm pretty certain Petsy is the one we are trying to catch up with here. Rank 6, and he is a little under 200 points above us. So unless he completely falls off the map, I don't expect us to be catching up too well, but if we can get ourselves a 1600 point week, that'll be great. Obviously, switched in Max Gorn. That's a really, really good start, but no one else on this squad has played. If we put in Oliver, that would have been really nice, but we do not have Oliver, unfortunately. Even Petraka would have been good. If we had the lineup of Gorn, Petraka, Oliver, we would have been off to a golden start, but unfortunately we don't. However, I am confident with a lot of the players we have. Callum Mills is playing this week against North Melbourne. He's playing a centre role, and although I have noticed that North Melbourne at times can be really, really good from the middle, Callum Mills has been playing so spectacularly to the point where I don't think it will really matter too much. However, on that same note, since they're playing North Melbourne, I've chucked in Heaney in there as well. I think he was in there last week too, but Heaney is probably, or should at the very least, have a really good game. Cameron, I've decided to stick with. I've pretty much decided to stick with the entire forward line in general. Himmelberg is probably the biggest scare right now. I don't know how he's going to perform. Obviously, as a GWS defender, not much to really work with, but hopefully Himmelberg will do his thing. If they put him in the back line, he'll probably see the ball more often. However, in that same sentence, I also want to point out Sam Taylor. I've decided to chuck him in this week, and I'm not sure whether that'll be a good decision or not, but obviously he has his up and downs. When he's really good, he can be one of the best players of the week. I think we've seen it before, but I'm hopeful that this backline will be able to do it well for us. I was thinking Jake Lloyd, but obviously as they were up against North Melbourne, don't think he's going to be needed all that much. Sinclair we've got in there. I believe they are playing someone pretty good today. Speaking of, they're playing against Geelong, so it's going to be interesting to see how that one goes. I know the Doggies play Freo, and I don't have any Fremantle defenders. Maybe a mistake, because for some reason, as I always mention as of late, defenders against the Doggies seem to do really well, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to work around that for a game like the one coming up, Freo versus the Dogs, because Hayden Young can play well, Luke Ryan can play well, but again, it's really hard to trust Fremantle players this year, I feel like. They can have really good games, but if you can't trust them, I wouldn't necessarily think about choosing them over others. I can trust Merritt because he's been performing really well as of late. Can trust Jack Steele, always puts his heart out in his sleeve. Cripps I can trust more than others, but probably not as much as the other 4 here. Laird is all reliable this year. Callum Mills has really, really good games very often, although sometimes he can be chucked in the back line, but that's where he starts to pick up his marks and get those really easy disposals. Overall, this week is a somewhat safe week. I think the difficult ones to kind of glance past are Sam Taylor, maybe Paddy Cripps, but then again, Paddy Cripps is amazing. A lot of people will say otherwise. I think Cripps will do well. But Jeremy Cameron, also another one. You can't 100% trust key forwards. Key forwards can be a bit on and off, but Cameron's also been put in the midfield as of late. I think last week I watched him get thrown into the midfield, and I'm like, what's he doing in there? I'm not mad, but what's he doing in there? Very funny, but 18 disposals, 8 marks, 2 goals. If we can get a week like that from him, no dramas from me, no worries at all. So hopefully this week turns out to be a really, really good week for top 18. Again, we're trying to catch Gringo. Bod, we're just a bit in front, but hopefully we'll be able to find this one go up. If the start of the week and Maxi Gorn's performance says anything, top 10 could be really, really good this week, and it's gonna make me very happy if we can find a top 3 position somewhere. But I'll quickly go over tips. I didn't actually put them in, unfortunately, but obviously as it's Saturday, I couldn't even show you from Teamcoach, so I'm going to go over to the AFL website. As I record this, there's a few games going on right now. I had tipped Melbourne I really thought Melbourne was going to take it, and for a long time it looked like they were, and then Collingwood just doing Collingwood things. They are a flag threat now. I did mention, I think last week, in the 5th day of Northy's month of Teamcoach, I'm pretty sure, I mentioned that if they win it, then they're a genuine threat. If they win this game, they're a genuine threat. And I think they are. They're a top 2 team now. Pretty good looking season for Collingwood. I still am a bit uncertain whether they'll win the flag, but I think I can now say with confidence they are definitely a threat for it. I can't guarantee that they're the best looking team for the flag. However, they could prove me wrong, and they have been doing it all season, man. All season. This game's currently going on. I think I would have tipped the Suns, if I'm being honest. And then same goes with this game between GWS and Essendon. Would have tipped the Bombers, sorry. But both of them going the other way right now. We'll see how that one turns out, but I'm definitely going to watch a few of these once we're done. As Gold Coast kicks a goal, interesting. Dogs versus Dockers. I'm going to go with the Dogs. I think we're going to go with the Dogs. Freo definitely could run over the top of them. Fremantle have shown lots of signs of good play this year, but I'm going the Dogs way because I think they're going to have a bit more fight in them. And I know that Freo did just take a beating to Melbourne last weekend, but I'm confident that the Dogs can stand strong. Who knows, really? This could go either way, but Geelong versus the Saints, I'm going to go with Geelong. I think that's a pretty safe pick. Port versus Adelaide. Port versus Richmond, sorry. Port Adelaide is what I meant to say. They're at Adelaide, so I'm going to say Adelaide, but Richmond, I can never tell. Unfortunately, with this one, I have to pick Sydney. As much as I want to believe North could do it, I just don't think it'll happen. Brisbane versus Carlton. All signs point to Brisbane, but they haven't been crash hot. They haven't been crash hot as of late. Especially last weekend, that was rough to watch as a Brisbane fan, I'd imagine. And then West Coast versus Adelaide. I'm thinking West Coast. I think a lot of people are thinking West Coast at the moment. Adelaide, they can be a good team, but West Coast, they're pretty nice at this second half of the year. I think they were close against Gold Coast last week. They've been very close, even against Geelong in WA. So I think a lot of people will see the Eagles go out with a bang to finish off Josh Kennedy's career. So congratulations to him for an incredible year, incredible season, incredible career, all of that. He's been a trooper, been strong for West Coast after the Chris Judd trade, and so very nice way to hopefully go out in win against Adelaide. So that's my tips, or those are who I think are going to win this weekend's games. Hopefully this wasn't too long, but if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if you really feel like it, become a member of the channel as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. Best of luck to your teams, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.